Excuse me, can I see your signs? Can I see your sign? Now, you guys one group or is there a spokesperson for the group or is there a spokesperson for the group? Do they want to do an interview for YouTube? Anybody like to do an interview for YouTube, feel free to come over. She was asked to go over there, and now the woman's hiding her mouth. She said, I can't see what she's saying. So maybe she don't want to do an interview. Okay, great, thanks. Looks like the Postal Service. Looks like I got here a little too late.
Huh?
Looks like I got here.
Trying to watch the protests. Yeah, they were rocking pretty hard when I first got here. What are you doing?
YouTube.
Yeah, no, I
have a
totally
YouTube
get
channel, and yeah, we do First Amendment audits. We do protests.
What's
we
your
do,
info? Here.
It's pretty easy. It's News New England.
News New England?
Just News New England.
I think I've seen. Did you go to Kennebec?
Yeah, I went to Kennebec once, yeah.
Yeah? Did you put a video up about going to Kennebec or whatever? They would try to get your ID and shit just for showing up?
Probably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They always try to get my ID. They never get it.
Great.
They
Yeah,
don't like the ID.
I'm a mod with News Now Omaha and stuff.
Oh,
so,
you News Now Omaha?
Yeah.
So you know Josh then?
Yeah. I don't mod for him. I just mod for Omaha. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm a friend with Josh. Oh.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
So yeah, this is what I'm doing. So I wanted to find out what the demonstration's about. What goal we're looking for.
They had they had quite a few people up there.
You mind if I put you on camera?
Oh no, that's fine. They had I don't know, probably 20-30 people out here protesting the post office. Quite a few of them had like signs that said, Trump was being ridiculous, this, that, and the other thing. One of them said that her child worked for the post office and was at risk of being laid off with all this stuff. So, that's pretty much what I got from it when I pulled up. But when I came here a couple weeks ago, one of the marshals here assaulted me.
Really?
Yeah, I went over and filed a complaint at the police station right after, took a picture of my foot, and then came here and filed a complaint. That's what I was doing today. Mr. Mark Tibbetts demanded that I had to give him the original. I couldn't just email him a copy of the complaint. And I said, well, why can't I just send you, an email of it? It's hard for me to write. So why can't I just email it to you where I can dictate it on the phone? Well, that's what my superior wants. So I said, well, okay, but what's the legal reason for that? He said, well, that's just the way it is. I said, okay, great. So can I have your email?
That's their policy, not the law.
Yeah, so I said, so that's the policy, not the law. And he said, well, yeah, I guess so. And I said, okay, great. Can I have your email then so I can send it to you? And he just looked at me like I was ridiculous,
That's the problem, is that they have these policies, and they think that these policies should outweigh what the legal,
No, he wants me to bring it in person to inconvenience me because they know that if they make it hard enough, then you're not going to file complaints. And I was being kind by not filing a criminal complaint and giving them a chance to use it.
So what did he end up doing?
Well, he ended up giving me his card, but...
No, I mean the police officer that...
Oh, he told me that... He did tell me that he would take my complaint if I wanted to file it. However, the way that he was talking was very much trying to discourage me. Trying to come up with reasons why it wasn't a criminal complaint. You know what I mean? Oh, so, he dragged a door over my foot and actually caused my foot to be cut up. Yeah, because I got here a couple minutes before 4, and there was nobody to be seen. The door was already locked. So I just didn't know if maybe there wasn't a lot of people or whatever. So a lady walked out with her children, and I walked into the lobby, and as I did, she goes, oh, they're already closed. I said, okay, that's fine. And I knocked on the door. He came over to the door, and he goes, we're closed. I said, well, you see on my phone right here, it's 4:01 right now, and I've been out here already for this amount of time. We're closed anyway. I said, okay, great, you're closed. Can I just have a complaint form then? No, you can't have a complaint form. I said, okay, well, really all I just want is the form. And he goes, well, actually, at this point, he never asked me to leave or anything else. And he goes, actually, you broke in. So you're breaking into a public building, you're committing a crime, I'm gonna have you arrested. So at that point, he's saying he's gonna call the police, so now I can't leave. You know? So
Did he actually tell you you're being detained?
No, he didn't tell me I was being detained. He said.
Did you ask if you were being detained?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He said that I was breaking the law, and then he turned around and walked away. So I assumed that he was calling the police or getting me a complaint form, one or the other, because you know, he wanted me to leave. So that's fine. But he never actually asked me to leave. He just said that I broke into the building and he was going to call the cops. So I stood right here in the doorway with the door slightly open, and you know, my foot was just there while I was trying to turn on my phone, and he comes barging out, doesn't say a word to me, tries to pull the door shut, sees my foot in the door, tries to kick my foot, and just drags the whole door, which you can see these are giant heavy doors, right over the top of my foot. Okay, and when he finally slams the door, that's when he tells me to leave. After he's assaulted me. That's when he tells me to leave, is after he's assaulted me.
No such luck you had a camera, huh?
So, but I took pictures immediately afterwards, and I have a picture of my foot there immediately afterwards. And I went right over to the police because I assumed that, you know,
And what was the name of the officer?
He's actually the one who's there right now. I think his name is Morissette. He's the young one who's working the machine, and his boss is standing right there with him. When I first came in, his boss wasn't there. He saw me. I assume he went and called his boss. You know, but I didn't say I'm not going to start something with him so that I can be the bad guy. That's pointless. But the police were willing to take my complaint, but only after I pushed the issue.
Yeah, because they're supposed to give you a complaint form. You can take the complaint form home, fill it out, and send it back to any form.
I was like, I'm coming here to report it in case he has his own version of events, which I'm sure he does. At this point, he's had time to come up with whatever excuse he wants.
Did they tell you can also do it confidentially, that you don't have to put your name on?
He wanted me to bring back this guy wanted me to bring back the original to him with my name and everything on it, which I'm not going to do.
So you have the complaint form?
Oh yeah. It took me a while, but I finally got the complaint form. I came back this happened on Friday. I had to come back on Monday to get the complaint form. On Friday, I went straight over to the police and spoke with the lieutenant over there. And after, you know, about 10 minutes of back and forth, he finally says, okay, yes, you can file a criminal complaint if you want to, but only after I'm prodding him over and over again, and he's trying to come up with reasons why it's not criminal, why what this man did is not a criminal thing. He assaulted me. He physically harmed me. There's a picture of my foot all red and scraped up from him dragging a door over it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, he physically harmed me. This isn't like, oh, he was rude, you know? And at no point ever did he actually say the words to me that I had to leave. You know? So it's just, the whole thing is just...
So how are you gonna go after us criminally, or?
I reserved the right to file a criminal charge. I did. I said, you know, listen, now, as long as they're going to actually as long as good cops are going to deal with this bad cop, then I'm fine with that. I'm not looking to, you know, throw somebody in a cage.
And you do know that the chances of that are very slim, right?
But it doesn't matter, because if they don't, then I will file criminal charges. And just having a criminal charge filed against you means that you often lose your position as a law enforcement officer. So, you know, if they don't want to deal with it themselves, then I'll file criminal charges.
And also, it's forming a regular complaint goes in his file.
Oh yeah.
And so,
you know, I'm fine with that, and I put in a public records request for his file.
Yeah.
And all that jazz. So they haven't got that back to me yet, but
yeah, FOIA request that, and FOIA request as to whether or not he's had any issues with any other people.
I asked for his disciplinary file, and I asked for his salary and any other pertinent documentation.
Okay, it seems like you know how to handle it, so that's good.
Well, I mean,
most people don't,
I work community outreach, you know, especially in the winter time. It's real bad. Every year, you know, it started out about 5 years ago. Toys for Tots, the military organization here, didn't have any more funding to pay for a place, a building where people could come and pick up toys for their children on their own. And they didn't have enough volunteers to pass out toys.
Yeah.
So they started to ask nonprofits to step up and like take lists and distribute the toys that they did get donated. But you know, people don't know how to go to these nonprofits to ask for toys. They've spent years asking for toys directly from the thing, and it's not like they get a whole Christmas. They get like 2 or 3 toys per kid.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I started out with my nieces preschool, working with them to get some, you know, that first year was 23 kids on
Yeah.
my list. This last year, I worked with 4 different nonprofit agencies and had 1,500 kids in Androscoggin and Oxford County that needed supplements for Christmas. And then on top of that, you know, as families come in, I get other information about problems that they're having, you know, homelessness, that they're on the streets in their car with their child, and
Yeah.
because they're a man with a child, there's nowhere for them to go. So I helped a couple young men get into housing, and then not having medical treatment or immunizations because they're immigrants seeking permanent residency. And if they get public assistance with the way things are right now for just their children, not even for themselves, then they can't get residency. They're disqualified. So I help them find free clinics to get their kids basic medical treatment.
Yeah.
Stuff
That's
like
good.
that.
So now you said you were a mod. Do you mind giving us your YouTube name, or would you
Oh.
rather not?
I mean, I'm just Liz F. I don't
Liz
post
F,
any
okay.
channels yet or
No.
anything like that. So
I don't want to
post
ask you for your name, because
Yeah.
just something we can refer to you as.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Liz, it's great talking to you, and
Nice to meet you.
good luck.
Glad
And
to see
hopefully,
you out here. I need more of you guys
well,
out here.
you know, as many of us as can get out here should be out here.
Yeah,
grab
unfortunately, I
grab
have
a
child,
camera.
and you know how they are, so I don't want to risk my child's safety by them trying to say I'm a bad parent or something because I filmed the police.
And they will.
And they will.
They will.
I mean, they threaten people's children. That's the first thing they do whenever they come up to a woman that has children. They'll threaten your children. You know, if a man commits a crime and a woman sees it and she has a child with her, the first thing they'll do is say, if you don't tell me exactly what he did, you know, then we're going to take your